Hey, Blair, happy birthday, by the way. It's Blair's birthday week.
Yeah,
Happy
Birthday week.
all week. I think
birthday,
month is
birthday,
fine.
birthday.
Why not? Month is
Yeah,
good.
birthdays used to be just one day, and then they moved to a week, and now they're just like all the time.
Actually, I don't celebrate I just send out good vibes to everyone because I'm a hero.
I feel bad. I think that people who are born in January deserve a birthday week because they have to put up with the cold every year.
My birthday week is sometimes just going to a resort for that entire week. So
Yeah.
thank you, January birthday.
I have to dig myself out of my house on my birthday. That's the fun. What a gift.
Yay, shoveling, exercise. It's the gift of health and life. But really, though, this has been a very, very difficult winter. And everyone always says that, it starts getting cold, and you're like, oh, I don't remember it being this cold. But then you're like, no, this has been a really bad cold snap. And then carry it on to the road conditions. And again, you think, oh, is it always this bad?
No.
It is not.
No.
First of all, I handed you that clear segue of I have to shovel myself out of my house, and you totally just kept on going.
We can argue about segues.
Yes.
I like your segue better. Let's go there.
There you go. The polar vortex. That's what we've just had. Yes, the polar vortex. And you
Polar
say-
vortex? Oh.
That's what they call it. And you said,
Nice research.
and as you said, Kim, you said it's not like this, and it isn't. And I think a lot of the anger that's been directed towards snow removal crews in the city, I think might be a little over the top, because if we take a step back and look at what happened here, with the amount of snow we've had, like, what are we? First week in January, correct? We've had probably our normal amount of snow for the entire winter, which came not, just in little wisps. It came hard in a couple of, major events.
For sure.
Couple that with this crippling cold. I don't know much about the science or the physics behind, clearing roads right now, but it can't be that easy. And especially when you look at, the way the city has expanded. I've been away for 10 years, and I'm astounded at how much the city has grown.
And the sprawl.
And how parts of the city that weren't normally, being occupied. And I think of the Point Douglas area, where now we have condos and so many different things in place now, and places to walk and all that type of stuff. Lots to be done.
Just further to your it can't be easy is that, and also to the weird conditions, that everyone's noticing, like the potholes that are created, and like this sea of ice, and I don't know, it's like Superman's lair out there on the road almost.
I get that it can't be easy.
But going along with this, the extreme cold is causing it to be like almost like concrete out there right now. Where I think in the next, at least it was for a while. I'm sure that closer to the weekend here, it's going to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely warming up this weekend.
But right now, while we're filming this, the city crews are having a real tough time with that, because it's not a problem they've ever really experienced, where we have so much snow and then just freezes, and we have all that ice that it's like concrete.
Yeah. See, and I don't know if you were going there just now, but I think, it can't be easy, but did you seriously not see this coming?
We're a winter city. Like, we, year after year after year.
You're not planning on a possible blizzard?
Right? We're a winter city, and are we, it just surprises me that we're kind of failing at being this. Yeah,
100%.
it's true.
I feel the exact same way, and I think about the Winnipeg Airport Authority, and I went out there a couple of years ago and did a story on just snow clearing, and it was like more of a news angle story, because we're talking about flights late and that stuff. But the thing that really stands out in my mind is this incredible machinery that they clear the runway with, because they have to do it quickly. Nobody else in the world really needs them, so they make them in Portage la Prairie, right? So it's kind of a proud thing for the Winnipeg Airport Authority. It's like, we've got some crap winters, but we've got to keep up with the rest of the world, and planes are coming in and they're leaving, and so we're going to build this crazy machinery, and they go out in these fleets, and it's incredible to watch, actually. So why is it that, as a city, we haven't, after all these years, embraced, we need to do things differently, we need to plan differently, we need to be innovative in the way that we deal with our winters? There's
that makes sense. I can see that part of it a little bit, but I mean, what it is right now is, you look at a pile of snow, whatever your measurements want to be, say it's 100 feet of snow, right? And then you have a certain amount of plows. You can't, do you know what I mean? You can only clear as much snow as you have plows, right? So the problem is, and of course there's budget issues, but just to get beyond that, so they have doing the best with what they have. I mean, I used to live when I was working in Regina, working for the news, you of course in the wintertime you're always talking to the city, right? I think a lot of times there's a stigma with the city that people think that it's just lazy people sitting like, oh well, we'll maybe do work when we have to. Like when those plows, like they're the people that are out at 5:30 in the morning trying to get your street clean. They might not get to you, but they got to someone else, right? So eventually it comes to you. You just have to wait for it. But when you're talking about planning, I see your point saying that if you know this snow is coming and you know the amount of snow we have, then take some of that budget, maybe get some extra plows or find a new system.
I think that with the new system going along with that in planning, I think what they really need to do is look at problem corners and try to get those, when they pile the snow up, try to get those cleared out as much as possible. Because one thing I've noticed, and I do sympathize with the city, as I've already said, but I have seen more cracked bumpers, more pieces of cars on the road, and more actual accidents and people like on the boulevards than I ever have in this city.
Yeah.
And it's
and that's anecdotal, but I feel that that's real. I feel that really is the equivalent. And even just in front of Shaw, we've had a couple of accidents that we saw even just in one day, several accidents. And I think that you and I both made the same comment to different people, being like, it really goes to show how backed up everyone is. People who are making money by towing, even those people can't get to those cars to remove them for several hours.
Because we pulled in, we came into work at 9:30. Well, a little bit after 9:30, and the cars were there.
Those were bad.
And then I went out, and then we went home at like 4 o'clock or something, and that car was still there. They could only had time to get one tow truck to move that one car.
Yeah.
There was 2 cars. One got towed, the other one didn't. But that's the point is. Everyone is like pushed to the max, which is great for these towing companies because they're making serious bank. But the snow banks are causing these accidents that's making these tow trucks go out. Because you're getting the snow off the road, but like you said, you have a 9-foot snow bank. And I did it the other day. I was going to Polo Park and I started driving and I was like, well, there's a snowbank. Here I go. Let's just hope there's nobody there because it's just like
we talked
defensive
about
driving.
the ability to adapt. And are we witnessing something now that a number of cities and municipalities are having to deal with? Let's toss out the words global warming and just talk about climate change and talk about severe weather. Let's look at what happened in Calgary this past summer and how they were so ill-equipped to deal with something like that. And are we going to see more severe weather like this across the board? Ice storms in Toronto, Montreal, what's happened in Newfoundland. I think a lot of municipalities are going to have to really take a good hard look at planning from an environmental perspective and then coupling that with a fiscal perspective.
It's interesting because the emergency planning, a lot of those, when they have the, what do you call them when you pretend that emergency is happening?
A mock disaster,
something like that, right? Exactly. And but a lot of it is around like train cars exploding, things like that on the prairies. So we don't talk about what happens when it's a 5-day blizzard or whatever, right?
I think that the problem with that, and I see your point, but I think it's a balance, right? Because to put that fiscally, it's like to run those scenarios and to be prepared for those, that costs serious bank. Again, I'm just keep using that term. But we're going to prepare because there's a possibility we could have a 6-day blizzard and be buried. But planning for that and having all the stuff available for that and then not using it is a huge waste of money.
Well,
and as we know in Winnipeg, though, if you overspend money, right, if you use too much money, they're going to complain. But then if you're not getting your services,
the floodway. Everyone pushed hard against that and said, we don't have the money to build the floodway. We don't, it's one incident and we have to worry about all of the fiscal issues, right? And they had to fight hard to get that floodway built. Finally got. I mean, where would we be without the floodway today, right?
That was one of the best things ever.
Yeah, but it was really a tough political decision to make. Well, you know what? This is great. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's the end of the show. So I'm able to pull this into. But great.
60 with the team.
Great comments. Yeah, great to have you, Al. Welcome to the team, and welcome to Blair too, because you both came on board pretty much the same time, and things are feeling great around Go Winnipeg and Shot TV. So let's head back out there and have a great week.
Drive safe.